What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. We're going to be taking a look at the charts. We're going to take a look at other markets that you should be watching if you are trading in Bitcoin or even investing in Bitcoin. Some things you guys want to look at. Definitely stick around for the whole video. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the link below in the description. Definitely check it out. It's totally free. Great community. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Don't forget, we do a free Ledger Nano S hard wallet giveaway. We do that every Monday. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel, tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash that thumbs up button and leave your comment below. That will get you entered to win. And before we begin, I just want to say, watch out for the scammers in the comment section. It'll say my name, CryPTOSAVY, but it's only me if it's actually highlighted. You'll be able to tell the difference. I'm not telling you who to invest with. I don't give you my phone number, none of that stuff. So stay away from them scammers. If you do see it, scroll down, check out the comment section. If you see them, just report them. If you would, hit the report button. All right, looking at the Dow Jones. So I've been looking at this as a possible fractal of what we've seen back here in March of last year. We could possibly be seeing the same type of thing here. Let's zoom in. Well, first we'll look at it. As you can see, we made lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That was bearish divergence over here. Then if we look, once we made this peak here, we popped up above it, and then we tried a couple more times, got rejected before our fall. Same type thing is going on right now. We made our top here, popped up above it, got rejected, and we can't seem to get back over the 31.6. Now, I know a lot of people don't think that Bitcoin follows traditional markets. It does, and we'll talk about that when we look at the DXY, which is the dollar index. We've been watching it on this channel. You guys should have been expecting this, but let's take a look at gold. Gold, I still have my target down here around 1647. We had the first target, and mind you, this has been since November. Stick around. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Goldman Sachs trading desk. And why you got to watch what you hear and be careful what you believe, whatever news says and whatnot. But looked at this as an ABC correction, and obviously we got past our 1736 target, and I said the next target to look for after that is 1647. Still looking at that. If that breaks, it's going to get pretty ugly for gold. My next target after a break of this is around 1457. Silver, everybody, that's another thing you hear. You see all the commercials: buy gold, protect your money because of inflation. Make sure to hedge against the dollar. And as you can see, everybody, you've seen the same thing in silver, all the commercials and whatnot. And that's usually the time to get out of this stuff. Everybody always says protect your money by getting into gold or silver or now Bitcoin. Be careful with that. Remember, buy the fear. Everybody wants to say that when Bitcoin's down, but look at the dollar. That there was so much fear in the dollar, and look at what the dollar's doing now. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. The dollar is going up, and reason being, when people get out of traditional markets, stocks, gold, silver, they tend to run to money to protect their assets. They run to the dollar. The dollar becomes a safe haven. We've seen it over and over and over again, and it seems to be playing out again. But if we take a measured move of this rising channel that silver broke out of, looking at around the $20 silver again. We do have this long-term support right here about 21.23. If that breaks and we test it, get rejected, silver could be in for a very, very bad time. So that's why I see in silver. The DXY, so this is the fractal we've been looking at. We did break out of the wedge like we did over here, came down, tested it for support, and we've had that target of 92,178, and it looks like we hit that or pretty dang close, almost dead on. I've said expect rejection here at the 55 EMA, which we're getting a little bit of rejection now. And while the dollar gets rejected, it may go down a little, so you'll see Bitcoin go up. So Bitcoin could still go up. But like I showed you in the thumbnail, Bitcoin could be in serious trouble in the long term. Not saying it has to happen, but you need to be aware of it. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. And you get a bunch of bad comments about people that only want to hear about Bitcoin going to 100,000, 200,000. We're looking at the charts in reality. We try to stay in reality on this channel. I don't try to put too much hype into stuff and get everybody overly excited just to get views. I'm not going to do that. But if you do want to help me get views, all you got to do, if you would, share the video. That helps a lot. Anyways, dollar's still looking really strong. Like I said, it should do something like it did over here. Maybe for the next year or two go up. And if I'll show you a chart with the dollar overlaid on Bitcoin here in a minute. If you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT. That you could trade crypto indices, forex commodities like gold, silver, oil, natural gas, everything on one exchange and using your Bitcoin as collateral. So you could trade all that stuff and still stack sats. You'll get paid in Bitcoin. So anyways, check it out if you haven't already. I'll leave a promo code, or I'm sorry, I'll leave a video up top on how to use their margin. And if you want to use my promo codes, Savy50, that's Savy with one V, will get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus to use towards your margin. Savy25 will get you 25% off your fees. And if you guys want to dabble into, traditional stocks or options, things like that, check out Webbull. I put a link down below. They also will give you 2 free stocks for making a $100 deposit. But that's a good way to get into, traditional stocks if you want to get into that stuff. So check it out. Like I said, there's a link below. All right, let's look at the 4 hour here. We had this rising, broadening wedge, and we did get rejected again at the top. Now in the bullish case, we get up above this 55,000 would be where we would have to get above to possibly come up and retest this again, maybe around the 65. And if in the bullish case, this is for you bulls out there, because it is possible. I'm not saying it's not, but we need to be aware of both the bearish and the bullish case. But in the bullish case, we come up and make another high, maybe get rejected. And if we do break this top trend line, you could take a measured move of that, getting you up to around 90,000 if that was to occur. Now, obviously, first of all, we would have to pass this 52.6 where we got rejected at the, as you can see, if I go from the swing high to the swing low, I put the Fibonacci retracements on there. We got rejected exactly at the golden pocket right here. Now, if we look at this as an ABC correction, if we go down to the 1-to-1, it is 37,000, and this would be A, B, and C. Now, we could get stopped before that. We could get a bounce at around that $40,000 range, which is the 0.786. If that was to happen, we could definitely see one more rally for the end of the year. Now, that doesn't mean if we get a bounce here, we're automatically going up. Obviously, we get dead cat bounces. It never goes straight down. It's going to have to bounce back up in times. But if we break below this, guys, if we hit this 37, there is a good chance that that could be a sign that we are in the bear market once we break this trend line right here. But like I said, still in the bullish case, this could be a 1-to-1 extension ABC. There's still a possibility, but I would have to see it bounce back above this white trend line and get support. And then if it does that, if we get down to the 37, we bounce back inside here and get support, then we could have one more rally before the end of the year. But as of right now, everything's looking pretty bearish. If we look at the RSI here, you can see we had a rising channel here. Once we broke down, we came down pretty hard. We're within this one now. It's not saying we can't get another leg up. And let's take a look at that kind of close up and look. We could come all the way up here while the price only gets to, 50 without breaking this high here. 51.7. So if we got up here and we closed below 51.7, that's going to be bearish divergence because we'd be making lower highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI. So be aware of that. Also, we have 44 minutes left in this 4 hour. So if we close below 48,400, then we're going to create divergence here, and we may come down to at least retest this channel. And if we break through and close a 4 hour before that today, it's pretty good confirmation that we got lower to go. That's what I'm seeing right now. Let's take a look at one more bullish case scenario for you bulls out there. If we draw a trend line across here, let me change that so you can see it. I'll thicken it up. This could be a possible inverse head and shoulders that we formed here. Now in the bullish case, that trend line is going to be around, let's go off of these wicks here, and I'll kind of show you what, let me get this ABC off of here, and we'll draw in a head and shoulders. This would be the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. Now if we took a measured move of that, we'd go from the neckline to the tip of the head, and depending on where it was to break out, but that could get us all the way up to around 62,500 would be the measured move in the bullish case there. Again, I don't think we're going to see the bullish case here. I think we're more likely to see the bearish case, but that's only my opinion. Everybody has an opinion, and no one's right all the time. There is another possibility here of a actual head and shoulders forming right here in the 4 hour. We extend this out. I'll draw it in there so you can see it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Could get up to that 50,500, somewhere in that area, but then come back down. And if that was to happen, these are just some things to look out for, guys. And if that was to happen, that would get us down to around the 39,000. So that would probably be a nice place to bounce off of this bottom trend line, around 39 to 40,000. So keep an eye on that also. Let me get this off of here, clean this stuff up a little bit, and we'll move on to the dollar overlaid on the Bitcoin chart. And I've showed this over and over, and the reason I show it a lot is because a lot of new people come to the channel. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe, because I try to look at all aspects of the market, unlike a lot of other channels. Not to say that's bad, but I just like to take a look at the whole picture. But as you can see, we have this trend line on the dollar, and every time we come down and test this trend line, Bitcoin is at or near its top. And as you can see, we've done that. And this blue line here indicates when the RSI broke out of the wedge on the 3-day chart that I showed you earlier. And you can see what happens. It, really takes off and gets going. Well, we've broken that, and we could take off and get going. And as you can see, when the dollar rises, Bitcoin falls. And if we raise this up, every time the dollar tops, Bitcoin bottoms. So if this dollar is going to rise all the way up again for another year or two, we would look for Bitcoin's bottom when the dollar reaches this higher area. If that's the case, and if we have topped out. Again, there's no guarantees in trading or investing. So, all right, taking a look at the macro here, and this is the log chart. I threw the Fibonacci channels on here, or Fibonacci ray, whatever you want to. Fibonacci channels. All right, so as you can see, we topped out 2013 and 2017 right here. If in the bullish case, if we can break this trend line here, well, I say trend line, but fib line, it's the 0.236, and that would be around the 62.5 range. If we break above this and get support, then we could look for the bullish case scenario, $100,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin. Otherwise, we come down to retest this trend line here around 30,000. And the next one would be 19 and then 11. I know those numbers sound low, but I'm going to show you a chart here in a minute that shows you that is possible. Let's take a look at This is the 1 hour. This is just kind of trying to judge the timing. If this isn't an inverse head and shoulders and we continue up, if we do continue down here. But as you can see in the RSI in the 1 hour, we did get our bounce off the bottom here. It's not to say we can't come back down, make another low and retest it. But I've drawn the trend line off of these wicks here, and our targets from the 0.786 and the 1-to-1 extension show us if we were to come down and retag the test, re-hit this trend line around 40,500 would be around the 7th of March, so a couple days. If we come down to that 37.3 range and retest, that would give us right around the 16th of March. So it doesn't have to go straight down, guys. It could be a long, drawn-out process. If you've been around long enough, you know this. All right, now Goldman Sachs talking about opening up the trading desk. This article is from 2021, and we'll go into some more charts too with Bitcoin, like the big head and shoulders I was showing you in the thumbnail. But first, I want to go over this Goldman Sachs. This is December 21st, 2017. Goldman Sachs is planning to get into the business of trading digital currencies such as Bitcoin. So they were saying they were opening their trading desk. And then 2019, this is from April 2019. This is why I say don't believe everything you read and see, guys. There's a lot of this stuff that you read and see and hear about is just to make you act or react a certain way, which is usually what they want you to do, and it's usually wrong, just like the fear of the dollar. But anyways, April 12th, 2019, then Goldman Sachs refutes bank ever had any plans to open cryptocurrency desk. And now, just the other day, they come out again. Goldman Sachs restarts cryptocurrency desk amid Bitcoin boom. Restarts? I thought they never started it. Anyways, be careful. Like I said, you really can't trust the news, guys, on any of this stuff. But looking at the 3-day chart, this is another thing that gave us this bearish warning sign. We made lower highs in the RSI. And again, this is the 3-day chart. And then we made higher highs in the price action. And if we look at this candle that I got the arrow pointing at, that is a bearish engulfing candle. The wick, high and low wick, engulfed the prior candle, and the body engulfed the prior body. That is a bearish engulfing candle. Now, right now, it seems to be getting support at, and this is the 3-day. We have 2 days left, so you can't put too much on this, but 47.8. If the 3-day closes below that, it's going to be pretty bad for Bitcoin. So this is, well, first of all, this is the funding rate. It is dipping down a little bit, so we could have a little more upside possible. But let's take a look at if, and this is pure speculation, guys. We don't know where this neckline is going to be, if it's going to be a neckline. It all depends. You know, we could go off these wicks right here. Could be something like this. But anyways, just for speculation, I drew this on here. What if this was a left shoulder? We're forming the head now, and then we do a right shoulder. And depending on where this was to break, and this would take a long time to play out, just the way I have it drawn, and that's not to say it's drawn exactly how it's going to happen, but it'd be around June when it hits the neckline for the bottom of the right shoulder. Somewhere in that range. If you guys know, I've been waiting for a low in June. But anyways, measured move of that would get us around 9,000. And that is an 85% correction. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is the 2000, whoops. Let's go over here. This is the 2017 bull run. This is when the most bullish news was coming out. Banks are getting into it, blah, blah, blah. This is not the time to be jumping in markets, guys, when it's parabolic and straight up like this. You can see what happened in 2019. Just take a look at the resemblance here. You can see the rising channel. I drew the trend line across the second touch. We capitulated beyond it. But just look at the similarities. And if you look, there was a triangle formation. That's how tops are formed. Big boys sell, goes down, they buy the bottom, or they make a floor by buying back. And then they get people bullish again. Everybody starts buying, and then they sell again. And that's what creates the triangle. If we take a measured move of this triangle to where it broke down, that gets us to our low, which was at 84.5% decline, which lined up perfectly. Now let's take a look at 2019, the same formation, rising channel, broke out of the rising channel, went parabolic from the second line on the rising channel, or the second touch, draw a trend line across, we broke below it. What was that? 73% correction. Same thing, we formed a triangle there. And if we look at the triangle breakdown, it gets us to our low down here. It actually went a little lower. That was our crazy dump in March. Now let's take a look at where we're at now. Much bigger, but it's the same thing. Second touch on the bottoms all the way at around 12.5. If we are topped out, again guys, if we are topped out, we could go below this. It's still possible. If you think it's impossible, then you really don't understand charts and markets, because it's definitely possible. I know people are saying we have much higher to go, which by all means is definitely a possibility. Not saying it's not possible. I'm saying this is not where smart money buys. They're not going to buy the top of something that rose like this, guys. They bought down here. I can pretty much guarantee you that the real smart money investor is not the popular pushers on Twitter, or the, you know, or this guy here that was telling everybody in the .com bubble he was a genius, and you can see what happened. And now here's Bitcoin. Not going to mention no names, but you can see what happened. But anyways, if we look at this, it looks like a lot like a fractal. And this triangle's speculative on here. We don't know where that's going to go for sure. But just to say it does happen like that, if we did a measured move, that'd bring us down to the $9,000 range. And again, it all depends on how it forms, where it breaks. I just drew this as a possibility. This could be a pretty long, drawn out bear market if it is the top. And if we look at the top here to 84% correction, would be around the 8,800. And that also gets below this bottom trend line. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching. Check out my wife's webpage, inkyorimage.com, if you want to help support the channel, along with scrolling down there, smashing that thumbs up and leaving your comment. But I have a link down below. Like I said, I got quite a few links down there that you get a little something from all of them. Definitely check them out if you haven't. And yeah, check out her page. She makes a lot of quality stuff on here, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the CryptoSavvy logo above my head. Smash that like button. Leave your comment below and share the video if you would. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow.